Hey guys, welcome to this video, and I'm going to go over how to create the HTML for our image slider. So I'm going to first I created a new folder with the index.html file. I'm going to use emit, so I'm going to use exclamation mark tab, and then I'm going to create a div called background carousel. And I'm going to include three divs, with one being background image 1. Then I'm going to do 2 and 3. So this div is basically, if we look at the image carousel, we have the background image that's heavily blurred, blurred behind the smaller images. That's the div that we just created, the background image carousel with the 3 background images. Then we're going to create, let's see. Then we're going to create the container, and then the div containing the carousel. And inside we're going to create the images carousel and images div, and we have also the left and right button div. So left, right buttons div, and here we might as well just create this right here, left right button div. Let's see, the class was left button, then an ID of, let's see, I create the ID first, so left button, and then class of left button. Let's see if that works. Yes, that works. And we want the right one as well. And then this is going to have a on-click event in our JavaScript file. We haven't created this yet, but I'm just going to place it here for now. So on-click, and when we click this, we want to move the whole image slider to the left. So we're creating this left button right here. So when we click on the left, it'll go towards left. So this function that triggers this is going to be called move slider left, and we're going to create this later, but I'm just putting this here for now. And then on click right, on click move slider right, and we want to create the chevron signs. These are called this type of arrow is called a chevron sign. And if we go to font awesome left chevron, and we go to this one right here, that's basically the arrow that I have. So I need this right here, so I'm going to copy this. First I'm going to actually go to my kits. You have to first create an account on Font Awesome. Then you want to go to settings, you want to press your kits, then settings, then setup. Then you want to copy and paste this. That's the CDN for downloading the let's see, and I have to include this at the, and I included it in the header. So sometimes, depending on what type of JavaScript libraries you're using, you want to include the JavaScript at the bottom right before the body tag, or sometimes at the top at the header section. This one we're going to use at the top of the header section. So I'm going to create that right here. Font awesome CDN. Then copy and paste that right there. And then now we can use go back to Font Awesome, and we can, let's see, where was it? This one, I think it was this one right here. Let's see, chevron. I'm just checking with my source code on my other screen. Chevron FA solid FA chevron left. Yes, this is the right one. Copy and paste that right. I'm gonna copy and paste that like that right there. And we're gonna copy and paste the right one as well. So right. And we're going to open with live server. Open with live server is a VS Code extension, so you can use that. So we have so you can install the VS Code extension to make live server, or you can just open a fresh Chrome web browser and just view it there and refresh it each time you update the code. But I like live server because it allows you to update the code as you type along. So we have our left and right chevrons. And then I'm going to create the images portion, where it actually contains the images portion of the carousel. So we're going to have image 1, and we're going to have image container, then image fade in box, fade in effect darken, then the image source is going to be image source is going to be .images.river1small.jpg. So you can download these images in the I'll put a link to these images in the description box of this video. So I'm going to just go to webdev and copy and paste the images folder. So I had practice 1 images. So I have river, I think we just had a river1 small, I think river1small.jpg. So that's this one right here. So I'm just going to copy this entire folder, copy, and I think I can paste it. No, I can't. So I have to create a new folder, call it images, and open Rebuild and Explore, images, copy and paste. Oops. I'm going to go back to the other one and just copy the image files. So I'll copy all of these into here. So now I have all these images right here. Large, small, large, small, large, small. So so basically I created inside the images portion of the carousel, we have image 1, we're going to have image 2 and 3. Then I put an image container. I think I did this, I have to, I'll explain this as we're going along with the CSS, but I think this is to, let's see, let's take a look at the image. So the image, whoops. So this portion, image fade in, misspelled that. That should be fade in. So this portion, fade in box, is the, so when I change an image, it kind of goes dark. The left and right images kind of go dark, and the center one is bright. The way that I achieve that effect is I have a div of the image, and on top of that image with the higher z index is a approximately half 0.5 opacity, completely black div. And whenever I move away, originally the black div has opacity of 0 when it's in center. And then when I move the image left, the opacity goes to like 0.6, I think. And then on the right, same thing. And for the images that moves towards the left right there, the opacity is turned from 0.6 to 0, so the image becomes bright again. And that's what this class is doing, image fade in box and fading effect. The reason why I have two classes here is because the fade in box will, the way that I reference it, I'm toggling the fade in effect darken, and then I have a fade in effect lighten for the, no, actually I have two different separate CSS properties. One is fade in effect lighten, and one is fade in effect darken. The second one is going to have the CSS fade in effect lighten, and I'm using query referencing and document query referencing in JavaScript to reference this, and then I'm toggling that elements this CSS into a different one when it's changing between which one's light and dark. So sorry if that's a bit confusing, but as we write the CSS, I'll go over in more detail why we're doing each part. So next we're going to go to image 2. So we have image 1 done. We're going to go to image 2. This is the center image, and this is also going to have a image container, image container, and then inside we're going to have the same image fade in box, and then fade in effect lighten. See, this one's lighten, not darken. And then after that, below that, we're going to have image source is going to be images river too small.jpg. And then finally we have image 3. So after this one right here, image 3, and this is going to be image container again, and then this time image fade in box, and this one's going to be darkened because it's not going to be on the one of the side images again. So we're going to do fade in effect darken, and then the actual image source is going to be images river 3 small.jpg. And that's, I think, let me just double check that's all our main HTML components. So yeah, that's pretty simple for the HTML. That's all the HTML we need for our image carousel. And then in the next video, I'll implement the CSS reset, some basic JavaScript file structuring, and we'll go into the CSS portion of this tutorial.